Aloha and welcome to the Secret Art of Huna podcast, where I'll be sharing how to use Huna, the carefully guarded spiritual, energetic and healing practices of the ancient Hawaiians, to help you transform those bits of your life that aren't working, to help you find your purpose, or maybe just to help you dump emotional baggage. I'm Dr. Jane Lewis, and 20 years ago I was burnt out, depressed, unfulfilled, disappointed, directionless and deeply, deeply miserable. Huna enabled me to change all that, and so I now share it with whoever wants to experience a more joyful, fulfilling life.
Well, aloha and good morning. I thought this morning I'd take you on a beach walk. It's got its disadvantages because it means the video wobbles a bit, but it's also got an advantage because it means I can actually share a little bit of Hawaii with you. It's early morning here, it's about 6:45. I love this time of day because it's fairly quiet, but also at this time of day, quite often you'll experience some real magic. So as I was walking down to the beach this morning, the magic was there was this wonderful chanting coming from the beach. I mean, this woman with the most incredible chanting voice, standing there with two people beside her, and she could be heard for a very long way, all the way up the hill. And that's what Hawaiian magic can be like. Chanting's important in the Hawaiian culture, but it's not every day you go down to the beach and there's somebody chanting at the sea, or the ocean as we call it round here. So I wanted to talk to you today about choice and decisions and sacrifice. And the reason for that is because many of my clients really struggle with some of the choices and decisions that they have to make. A lot of them struggle with actually making a decision. In the Hawaiian culture, decision making is fairly simple once you take into account the idea that every decision, every choice involves a sacrifice. Now, I'm not talking here about the sacrifice of goats and humans, although it has to be said that was practiced in ancient times. I'm talking here about the sacrifice that comes with choice. When you make a choice, you're making a sacrifice every single time, because there's only 24 hours in the day, and sooner or later it's either one thing or another. And just listen to that ocean. So, for example, my choice this morning, my sacrifice this morning, was I could either go for my early morning swim, and I love an early morning swim, or I could take the time to do this video for you. And I decided that I'd take the time to do the video for you. I knew I wouldn't be able to do both. Yeah, sure, I kind of miss my swim because it's a real joy, and it's a rare privilege, really, because the swimming pools near me aren't up to much, and there aren't many of them. Here you get to swim in the ocean when it's flat and calm. So that was my sacrifice this morning. Growing up as I did in the 60s and the 70s, we were taught as women that we could have it all. And that meant actually that we had to work a lot harder. A lot of women of my mother's generation, they stayed at home, they looked after the kids, they worked hard in the home, but they weren't also going out to work and being busy in that way. My mum chose to work, so she did both. But there wasn't this idea of you've got to have it all. It was a sense of this is how we can organize our lives. But now with this gotta have it all, we can have it all culture, one of the challenges I see is so many women stressed out of their brains because they're trying to balance home, work, possibly parent care or care of others in the family. And it's hard. Now, it's not necessarily going to make it easier when you think of it in terms of sacrifice, but it gives it a context and a concept. So the Hawaiian law of sacrifice says that we are making sacrifices all the time. It's inescapable. It's unavoidable. But when you're making choices and decisions, you can make the choice knowing that it's a conscious choice. Very often what we do is because we think we have to have it all, we don't make the conscious choice. It's like, well, I've got to do this and I've got to do this and I've got to do that. No, it's an either or. Either you go to the meeting or you go to the kids' sports day. You know you're not going to be able to do both. So why pretend to yourself that you're going to be able to do both? Either you're working hard on your business in order to build a great life for yourself and your family if you have one, or you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're reading a trashy novel or watching telly. It's a choice of how you use your time. And as I say, we don't always have those choices, but actually the illusion that we create for ourselves is that they're not choices. And in fact, they always are. It's always a choice. And it's always your choice to make, even when you think you don't have it. Because the law of sacrifice is basically about choice. We either do one thing or we do the other. When you understand, when you really get it, that what you're doing every moment is making a choice, and whatever you decide not to do will be the thing that you sacrifice, then things start to fall into place. Decisions become easier to make. And hey, we have choice. That is amazing. So step out of the illusion, step out of the story that you don't have choice. Understand there always will be a sacrifice when you make a choice. There will always be the thing that you don't do. But embrace the sacrifice, embrace the choice, and hopefully be a little bit less stressed about it all. Have a great day, and I'll just give you a quick last look at the ocean. There you go. Beautiful. Talk to you very soon. I hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. If you want to bring about rapid transformation in your life, check out secretartofhuna.com, where you can also download a free meditation to help you with self-forgiveness. You can also look out for Secret Art of Huna on social media such as Facebook